My girlfriend said, I need space. Don't contact me for a while. Then she posted vacation photos with her ex. I respected her request, changed the locks, and sold the car that was in my name. When she came back, the key didn't work, and the parking spot was empty. She disappeared, asked for silence, and I stayed quiet. But then the photos appeared, and I understood everything. What she didn't expect was that I also knew how to play in silence. When she came back, she found locked doors, literally, and an emptiness that spoke louder than 1,000 words. Original post. I'm 30, man. I'd better start from the beginning. It's still recent, I won't lie. About 3 weeks ago, my girlfriend Emily, 28F, sent me a bombshell message. We had been together for almost 2 years, living together in my apartment for a year. Things seemed normal, maybe a little cold lately, but nothing that worried me. Or at least that's what I thought. The message came on an ordinary day while I was making dinner. Emily wrote, "Things are confusing and I really need some time to think, to clear my head. Please don't contact me for a while. I'll reach out when I'm ready." Bam, a punch in the stomach. Space is never a good sign, but fine. I tried to be the understanding boyfriend. I replied, "Okay, Emily, I understand. Take the time you need." After that, nothing. Total silence, which was exactly what she asked for, right? So I respected it. I spent a few days at home feeling lost, hurt, trying to figure out what confusing really meant. Work helped distract me a bit. Then Friday night came. I was bored scrolling Instagram, and there it was. A mutual friend had tagged Emily in a post. Sunny skies, beach, drinks, and her smiling like she'd won the lottery, arm in arm with Jordan, the ex she swore was part of the past. The caption said something like, "Living our best life, island getaway, reunited." My blood boiled. That time to think was, in reality, a tropical vacation with an ex-boyfriend. While asking me not to talk to her, she was out there happy as can be, rekindling an old relationship, keeping me as a backup, and still telling me explicitly not to bother her. Fine. You want space? You want me not to contact you? Request granted. Saturday morning, first thing, the locks. I called a locksmith, changed the main lock and the doorknob on my apartment door. Cost about $250, worth every penny for peace of mind. Her key was now useless. Then the car. Here's the context. About 6 months ago, Emily's old car broke down for good. She needed a reliable car for work, marketing, and social media, lots of client meetings apparently, but her credit wasn't good. I agreed to help. I bought a used Mazda CX-5 in great shape for around $18,000. Most importantly, the financing, title, and insurance were all in my name. The deal was that she would pay me in installments, and she did pay most of them, and the car would be for her use. But legally, the car was 100% mine. I never put her name on the title or the insurance. She treated it like it was hers, decorated it, all that. I took the spare key I always kept, drove it to a trusted dealership, and told them I needed to sell it since I was the registered owner. They checked it quickly and gave me an initial estimate around $6,500 pending full inspection and title check. I agreed, signed the initial paperwork, and left the car there. Took an Uber back home. Her parking spot was now empty. Her things were still in the guest room closet. I didn't throw them out. That would look petty. But she wasn't coming back into my apartment without talking to me. And she was the one who had asked not to be contacted. I felt strangely calm, like I was performing a necessary surgery. Did it hurt? Yes. Deep down, I felt like an idiot. But mostly it wasn't anger. It was logic. She asked for space and silence. She showed the relationship was over when she went on that trip with her ex. I just respected her request and protected my home and my assets. Now wait and see. According to Instagram, her dream trip would last another week. We'd see what happened when she came back and found her key didn't work. Update 1. Well, she came back. Showtime. It happened last Tuesday, around 9 p.m. I was watching TV trying to ignore the knot in my stomach. I heard the sound of keys outside. Then the sound of a key trying to turn in the lock. Silence. Then more attempts, now frantic. And then loud knocks at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Ryan, what's going on? Open the door! Emily's voice, angry but not desperate yet. I took a deep breath. I opened just a crack with the chain still in place. She was standing there with a suitcase beside her, tanned and visibly irritated. "My key isn't working. Did something happen to the lock? Yes, I changed it, I said, calm and firm. You what? Why would you do that? You asked for space and no contact, Emily. I just made it permanent. What are you talking about? I just needed some time. You can't just lock me out. I saw the photos of the trip with Jordan. Looks like you already figured out what you needed. Her face shifted from irritated to furious, with a touch of panic. That was just a trip. It didn't mean anything. We're just friends, I raised an eyebrow. Friends who go to a tropical island together while asking their current boyfriend for space? Got it. Ryan, don't be ridiculous. Let me in. My things are in there. Where's my car? Her eyes darted to the empty parking spot. Where's my car, Ryan? Her arrogance was almost palpable, like everything would just be waiting for her, untouched. First, the apartment is mine. Second, the car was never yours. Legally, it's mine. It's in my name and I'm selling it. It's at the dealership right now. Her jaw dropped. You're selling it? You can't do that. I paid for that car. You made some payments for using it, Emily. You didn't buy it. The title and the loan are in my name, and the sale process has already started. This is absurd. You're stealing from me. I'll call the police. She actually picked up her phone. I shrugged. Go ahead. Tell them your ex-boyfriend changed the locks on his own apartment after you asked for no contact and went on vacation with your ex. Tell them he's selling his own car that's only in his name. Let me know how that goes. She froze, the phone halfway to her ear. Her face shifted again, now pure venom. Ryan, you're a horrible person. You planned all of this. And you planned a trip with your ex while asking me for silence. I just respected your request and dealt with the consequences. You don't get to keep me as backup inside my own home. Suddenly, another voice. Her sister Brooke, 26, must have been waiting in the car downstairs. She stormed up the path. Emily, what's happening? Ryan, why is she locked out? Emily started dramatizing. He changed the locks. He's selling my car. He's kicking me out. Brooke turned on me. Seriously? After everything she's done for you, you just throw her out and sell her stuff? It's my apartment, Brooke. And the car was mine too. She asked for no contact and went on a trip with Jordan. Check her Instagram. It's over. She just needed space. You should support her, not punish her. Support her cheating? No thanks. She made her choice. Now she lives with it. Emily demanded her belongings. I want my stuff now. It's 9 p.m., not happening tonight. You can schedule a time to pick it up. Send me a message with date and time. I'll leave everything in boxes near the door. You won't come in past the entryway. You can't impose that! Yes, I can. My apartment, my rules. You wanted no contact. This is the new arrangement. Send me a time. Goodbye. I shut the door, locked it. My hands trembled a little. Adrenaline, anger, pain still simmering, but mostly relief. It was done. The confrontation was over for now. I heard them outside for about 5 minutes, Emily yelling, Brooke trying to calm her down while probably adding fuel to the fire. Then they left. 2 hours later, I got a message. Not from Emily, but from Brooke's phone. Emily needs her things tomorrow at 10 a.m. Be ready. No, please. No, thank you. Just demands. I replied, okay. I spent the next few hours packing Emily's clothes, toiletries, books, decorations, everything I could find. Stacked it all by the door. It was liberating. The dealership called later that week, maybe Thursday. Said the inspection was done. Final offer, $16,350, a small adjustment for tire wear. Friday afternoon, I went there, signed the final paperwork, and got the check. Deposited it immediately. It felt like closing a very expensive, emotionally draining chapter. Now I just had to wait for pickup day. Probably more drama ahead. Update 2. This past week has been surreal. The level of arrogance just keeps climbing. Honestly, it's almost impressive. Pickup day was exactly 10 a.m., as arranged in the last update. Knock on the door. It wasn't Emily. It was Brooke and their mom, Karen. Emily stayed in the car, apparently too shaken to face me. Yeah, right. Karen jumped straight into drama mode, eyes full of crocodile tears. Ryan, how could you do this to her? After 2 years, she loves you. Apparently not enough to avoid a trip with her ex while asking me for space. It was a mistake, Ryan. She was confused. You should forgive her. And selling her car, that was cruel. She needs it for work. Karen, the car was mine. Legally mine. And that confusion of hers was a betrayal of our relationship. Actions have consequences. The car is already sold. I opened the door wider, showing the stacked boxes in the entryway. Here are her things. Take everything. Make sure you grab it all because this is the only chance. Karen sneered. We'll need to check the closets, the bathroom. No, you can take what's here in the hallway. I packed everything I could find. You're not going any further. Don't be unreasonable, Ryan. What if you forgot something? Then too bad. You stay there, I stay here. Take the boxes. That's the deal. They looked ready to force their way in. Maybe to argue more. Maybe to look for valuables they could claim I was hiding. Not happening. They grumbled but started hauling the boxes. 3 trips in total. The whole time, Karen kept running her mouth, calling me heartless, saying Emily was devastated, demanding compensation for the car. I stayed silent, repeating the same phrase. The car was mine. She sounded like a broken record. Eventually, they left. Then the messages started. Mostly from Emily, a mix of sobbing pleas. I miss you. I made a huge mistake. Give me another chance. And furious demands. You owe me the car's value. That money was mine. I'll take you to court. I ignored the emotional ones. For the demands, I sent one reply. Emily, the car was legally mine. Title, financing, insurance, all in my name. The amounts you paid were for use during the time you drove it. Consider it rent. Matter closed. After that, I blocked her number. Blocked Brooke. Blocked Karen. But it didn't stop. Suddenly, mutual friends started messaging me, people I mostly knew through Emily. Accusatory tone. Man, I heard what you did to Emily. Pretty harsh to sell her car like that. Clearly, she was spreading a twisted version of the story, painting me as the villain who threw her out and sold her car out of spite, conveniently leaving out the trip with her ex. Of course, I explained briefly to a few who seemed reasonable. Showed her messages, the trip with Jordan, and reminded them the car was mine legally. Mixed reactions. Some understood, others bought her sob story. Whatever, people believe what they want. Then came the low blow. I got a call from my building management office. Someone had filed an anonymous complaint about loud arguments and disturbances coming from my apartment. Alleged shouting, concerns about fights. My stomach dropped. It felt calculated, like she was trying to get me in trouble. Luckily, I've got a good relationship with the manager. I explained calmly. My ex-girlfriend, who lived with me but wasn't on the lease, moved out after the breakup. There was a brief argument outside the door when she found out I changed the locks, which I did after she asked for no contact and then traveled with her ex. Her family also came by once for a supervised pickup of her belongings. No disturbances inside the apartment, and she no longer resides here. The manager seemed understanding. Said they'd note it down, but unless there were more verified complaints, it would go nowhere. I'm almost sure it was Emily or Brooke trying to stir trouble. The kicker? I got an Instagram DM request from Jordan. Didn't even open it. Deleted and blocked. Don't need to hear anything from him. Probably some taunt or provocation. My reaction? Honestly, all this arrogance and dirty games just reinforced my decision. I don't feel guilty. I feel justified. This wasn't just Emily making a mistake. This is who she is, and who the people supporting her are. Revenge, if you can even call it that, wasn't some grand plan. It was just letting them crash into reality. Apartment? Secure. Lease only in my name. Complaint? Went nowhere. Car? Sold. Money legally in my pocket. Her things? Gone. Contact? Blocked everywhere. Any future attempts, especially threats, go straight to my lawyer with a cease and desist. I already consulted one just in case. He confirmed my position with the car, and apartment is completely solid. The constant demands, the victim act, the attempt to sabotage me with building management, it's all pathetic. They really thought they could manipulate me back into that comfortable setup Emily herself destroyed. Breaking news. Doesn't work that way. Now I'm focused on cleaning up the emotional mess. It hurts realizing the person you lived with and cared about is capable of that level of dishonesty and arrogance. But better to know now. Update 3. It's been about 2 months since Emily came back from her little space trip with Jordan. Things have calmed down, mainly because I've refused to feed any drama since the last update. Time for the final outcome. Her smear campaign dragged on for a bit. I lost a few mutual friends, superficial ones who bought Emily's sob story. Honestly, Good riddance. Anyone who takes sides without hearing both stories isn't someone I need in my life. My real friends, the ones who knew me before Emily, stayed by my side. They heard my version, saw her blatant disrespect, and supported me 100%. Emily even tried to escalate things legally. Kind of. I got a laughably sloppy letter from a bargain bin lawyer, probably scraped together change to pay, him demanding $5,000 for her contribution to the car and emotional damages. The letter was full of typos and legal nonsense. My response? I had my attorney send back a sharp, formal letter. Included copies of the car title, financing agreement, and insurance policy, all under my name. It reminded them that Emily's payments only covered depreciation while she drove it, basically rent. In fact, if calculated per mileage using standard rates, she technically owed me money. That part was a bluff. But the point landed. We also attached screenshots of her original "I need space, no contact" message, plus time-stamped posts of her tropical trip with Jordan. The letter ended with a warning. Any further false claims, harassment, or legal threats would result in us pursuing damages and a restraining order, especially considering her earlier stunt with building management. After that, radio silence. My guess is her lawyer told her she didn't have a case and bailed. She never had the money to sustain a real legal fight, especially without my financial support. Through mutuals, I heard bits and pieces about her life since. Apparently, she stayed with Brooke for a while, but that blew up quickly. Emily expected Brooke to bankroll her lifestyle and lifted zero fingers around the house. Shocker. As for Jordan, exactly what everyone expected. He ghosted her once the vacation ended. Didn't want the drama, didn't want to support anyone. He got his fun trip and disappeared. End of story. She apparently begged her parents for help. Karen played the victim card again and probably squeezed out some money. But they couldn't fund her old lifestyle for long. Last I heard, she had to move back to her hometown, living with her parents again, whining nonstop about how unfair life is and how I ruined everything. Zero self-reflection, zero growth, just pure arrogance and victim mentality. Meanwhile, silence, sweet, glorious silence. No demands, no drama. No, Emily, my apartment finally feels like mine again. Last weekend, I even painted the living room. Tossed out some of her furniture. Taking back the space has been liberating. Revenge wasn't explosive. It was quiet and methodical. All I did was respect her request for space and let the logical consequences of her choices unfold. She wanted space. I gave her the whole universe. She gambled on her ex and lost everything she took for granted. My support, the apartment, the car. Gone the second she broke the trust it all relied on. Selling that car, she paraded around like it was hers. While she was sunbathing with another guy. Yeah, that was deeply satisfying. She didn't just lose a boyfriend. She lost the comfortable lifestyle she thought she was entitled to, funded by me. Did it hurt? Sure, it took time to process the betrayal, but I acted logically. I protected myself. I refused to be a doormat. She thought she could keep me as backup. She miscalculated badly. Now she's living the fallout, and her sense of superiority couldn't shield her. That's the most satisfying closure I could ask for. Goodbye, Emily. Time to move on. For real.
Reddit Observer Commentary. This story really shows how some people only realize what they had once it's gone. The OP stayed calm, acted logically, and in the end, the consequences spoke louder than any revenge could. The lesson here is clear. Respecting someone's space is one thing, but playing with someone's feelings can cost you everything. And what about you? Have you ever gone through something similar? Or how would you react in this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more incredible stories like this one. See you in the next video.